Welcome to another episode of
The Table.
Hey! My favorite drummer is here.
I know it's me. It's me.
What about the rest of us?
You're alright, you're
I
good.
put
you're
my
cool,
energy
you
into
know.
it,
But,
guys.
you know, that's my, do you understand? Yeah, man like. Anyway, welcome to another episode of The Table. And today we have a full house. Somebody say full house.
Full house.
On my far right, we have
Alex.
such a joy kill sometimes.
Alex.
All this energy, you just pours water on it, bro. Anyway. And next to him, we have the lovely. She wants to get married before rapture, so please, guys.
I did not
Shoot your shots.
The email details are showing. I'll answer the emails myself.
That's actually a good one.
We have a selection process.
Oh, I like
So
it.
if you know you're a time waster, don't venture. I'll suss you out. All right?
Don't apply.
Make
Serious,
sure you send a CV.
serious
and a
candidates,
cover
letter.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
We also need a cover letter from your pastor.
Yes.
Moving on.
Swiftly, on my left.
Hi, Shiverano.
And
Yes, girl.
nice, good to know. Nice. And I'm yours truly, Jeremiah. And today, speaking of covering letters and CVs and stuff from pastors, we've got a very interesting show for you today, okay? So stay tuned, we'll be right back. All right, we're back, guys. And you're ready for today's topic?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
We had an episode before where we were talking about, is it preference or something along those lines? And then someone said many people don't want to date in their church or don't want to court or marry in their church. To me, I was like, what are you talking about? Where else are you going to marry someone from? Like, doesn't make sense. But apparently it's a thing. So let me ask you guys, what do you think? Courting, dating, marrying, seeing, whatever definition that you want to give it, someone from your church, would you do it? And
As
why?
in my chapter or my ministry?
It doesn't matter. Whether ministry or chapter.
From my chapter.
Because
never.
On television.
No, I would never.
your pastor is watching this show.
Never
from
say
my-
never. No
no.
absolutes.
From
Are
my
you sure?
chapter, I would not.
Why?
Simply because,
Too close to home?
yeah, and it's like.
What do you mean too close to home?
Is that
Because.
the way it should be?
Do you understand?
No,
Are you not
hold
supposed to
on,
be at home?
Hold on, because of the position that I'm in my chapter as a leader for the youth, it's just no. Let me just lead here where I'm meant to be leading and be focused on this, and let's not complicate any relationships, inter-relationships in the church. Because as we already know, relationships can get complicated as it is. So better that you're over there. So even if we stop talking or stop dealing, then I don't have to deal with you in my space. You're not in my where I'm working. Do you know what I mean? No complication, no drama. We stick to the work.
So
That's
you want to
exactly
marry
it.
somebody outside of your church?
No, outside of my chapter. In my ministry, but outside of my chapter. So Christ Embassy ministry, but not
So
from
how
Christ
would you
Embassy
get to know
Cambridge.
this person?
Huh?
How would you get to know
So
a ministry
we-
programs?
Yeah. There's many opportunities. Like, how did I meet you? We don't even go to the same chapter, but I met you. Is it not so?
No. Yes, no. But is it not better to plan to marry someone that you know, like there's close proximity?
But I know loads of people.
And for example, how will you, if you went to your pastor and said, oh, I'm interested in this brother or this brother, so your pastor will have information about this person or should know this person and know some information about them that they'll be able to make a decision or advise or guide you. So should it not be beneficial that way?
It doesn't matter. Spirit-led, Sha. So I believe
Spirit-led.
it's spirit-led.
The pastoral ministry is there for a reason.
The pastor, yes. So I'll go to my pastor and I'll say, "There's a brother in this chapter over
Oh,
there."
he'll pray and
yes,
God will reveal to him.
Of course.
And
Or
besides,
he'll
like
give
you
the right
said, you
spiritual
can get a
guidance.
covering letter from that pastor.
And see?
You
Just
people are
saying.
giving the Holy Spirit extra work. It doesn't need to do.
I'm just saying.
Like, I feel like if you're just giving the Holy Spirit,
Yes.
He's a good boy.
you know,
Exactly that.
Pay the tithe.
That's exactly it.
Special offering on communion.
if you're giving the Holy Spirit extra work that it doesn't need to do.
No, but why?
About-
It's not extra
I
work.
agree with Batsy though. I don't want to. It wouldn't be my first
You
preference.
two don't want to
It would not be
date
my
in your church.
preference to actually date someone within my
In
church.
my chapter.
Yeah. It wouldn't
In
be
my
first-
chapter.
It wouldn't be
Alex,
my
are you hearing
preference.
this?
I understand.
It would not be my preference.
How can you understand?
If things end up sour for whatever reason,
What do you mean things will end-
it could.
Oh, is that the reason?
No.
No, I'm just saying, if it
But
does,
that's-
then
But that's
you're
a reason,
seeing them
though.
in your
It's another-
space.
But-
It's not my
consider.
preference.
Okay, he said, is that your
First,
reason?
I haven't seen anyone in the church that I
Forget
would
that
like
one.
to date.
Somebody can come tomorrow. It's not an issue.
Well, then
Tomorrow-
if he comes, then we'll review this conversation.
Yeah, but if you're not open to it,
I'm not open to it.
Like I said, it's not my preference. That doesn't mean that if someone came that was this amazing person, full of the Holy Spirit, just on it like that.
Spirit in your church.
do you understand?
Not
So your church is full of...
attractiveness as well. I gotta feel.
Wow!
I must.
What church are you from?
Can I just say I must be attracted? I might be.
What are you from?
I must be attracted
She
to who
just
it is.
said
That's all I'm saying.
none of the brothers in her church are attractive.
To me,
I don't know where church she's from.
I don't know.
But if she's in your church, I'm offended on your behalf.
you guys already know what I'm talking about. You guys mostly agree with me. Let's be clear. If you go to my chapter now, what I'm saying is they could be attractive,
You agree
but
with her
I
that
do
you're not
not
attractive.
find them attractive to me. So yeah.
I think it's not even about attraction or anything like that.
So, yeah.
I just know for me myself, I'd just like to be as focused as I can in this place, and I don't need any extra distractions. And it's just easier when the person that you're seeing or dating is just not there.
But why are we kind of like presuming that
Yes,
there's going to be a breakup?
exactly.
I'm not assuming there's
Thank
going to be a
you.
breakup. I'm not assuming
She's
that
talking
at all.
about
I'm talking about, I
distraction.
want to
No, but you said it.
I want,
Yeah, I'm talking.
I
Oh,
want-
for me, I don't even want
I
to get
don't want
involved.
drama. I don't want.
Unless
I don't
it's
want
what I
none of
want.
that politics. I don't want none of that extra noise.
Why would there be drama if it's handled properly?
Excuse me.
If it's handled properly, why would there be drama in politics?
Are we going to sit here and act naive like we don't know?
No.
Like
Naive.
Nobody's
we don't know.
naive,
We're
yeah?
not naive. Maybe.
Yeah, nobody's
you guys
naive,
don't
yeah?
know.
It's just that what you're saying is not really making sense to me.
let me
Personally,
tell you, let me
so I
tell
like to
you
understand more.
something. Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
What it is, I just think like
She's
it's
holding the
easier
waist.
to-
Power.
it's easier to deal with somebody who's outside of your chapter simply because of the fact that there's less room for talking. There's less room for noise. That's how I feel. That's
So
how
when
I
you say
feel.
talking, do you mean gossiping? Or
Yes, of course. Now, what
gossiping
else?
between who?
I don't know.
The
I don't
aunties
care.
and the uncles.
Whoever, even the youth members, even whoever, people talk. Like I'm not
So
gonna
in
lie.
essence, what you're saying is it's easier for people not to know your business.
Not really to not know your business, because I can openly be dating someone from another chapter.
So what's the
you
difference?
will-
But they'll still gossip.
Exactly.
Let them gossip, but my point is I don't need it in my space where
But
I'm
they'll-
doing my when
the
I'm
people in your
doing
space
my
are the ones
work.
gossiping.
I don't need it in my work, in my face. Do you get me? I don't need to give them a reason to do that. I don't need to.
But they will have a reason.
They can have a reason, but it's just assumption because at the end of the day, he's at the other chapter. He's not here. We're not. You can't see
Yeah,
us
but they know.
physically together interaction. You know, but you're not seeing us physically interacting together. You won't be able
What
to say,
difference does that make?
"Oh, look at
Still
this
be
or look at that."
Exactly.
Assumptions is fine.
Which is
but I'm not going
even
to
worse.
I'm not going to bring wood for you to add to your fire. I'm not doing that. So let's just keep this separate until the only time where this man and me should actually be seen like in a place of unity together to say we're here together as a couple when we're married. So if we're seeing each other, if we're courting, if we're dating, you can be at your chapter and I'll be at my chapter. I'll handle my business here. You handle your business there. People can know. I don't care. I don't have a problem with people knowing. But my point is, let me focus on here what I'm doing and you focus on what you're doing.
My-
Jeremy?
That's my preference.
See, when I begin to raise my hand on my own show, you know that he says a bit of
You want to say a lot of things.
the beauty of going to church meetings where both you and your future husband or wife is praying together. For me, it's even the heart that somebody has towards God and their commitment in the house of God that I see that even makes them more attractive to me. Now, taking away all taking away all these things from there, it's taking away the beauty of such a.
You can still sit at ministry
you spoke-
programs.
Oh, forget how many ministry programs have we had this year?
Okay, no, wait,
If
let
you're
me...
consistently
Also-
seeing someone at events,
Oh, no.
no,
Allow that stuff. That's just put that.
pretending.
Yeah.
Fair
What am I
enough.
saying? You said because you have a youth ministry. A perfect example of a godly courtship. Praying together, doing God's work together,
That's true. What is
giving them a perfect example where they're like, I was not thinking about marriage, but now I see the courting, but I see the beauty. When I get into this situation, I want to do it right.
That's
And I want to look
beautiful.
at Batsy and Richard, whoever it is, Roland. I want to look at Batsy and this person, and I want to emulate what they have, because what they have is so beautiful. Why do you, like, how is it then a problem because you're in that position?
Let me
If
tell you
anything, it should help, unless you have things to hide.
Let's tell you, there's nothing to hide, Shan.
Well,
Let me tell you something.
why would you not want your immediate people to know?
They will know.
To
But I
see.
don't need, there's no need. There's actually no need. For what reason?
I just gave you one.
You gave me one reason, but I can tell you 1,000 reasons not to distract my youth with this kind of thing so they don't look like, even though it's a beautiful thing, you don't need to be thinking about relationships when you're in the youth ministry. You should be focusing on other things, the other genders.
They will get there
And that's
eventually.
no, that's the main
And they
thing.
need examples.
No, they did it I'm leading by example now.
Do you have an older sister or brother?
No, I'm the oldest.
Okay. People that have older siblings, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes based on the relationship they have, a lot of people, when they start dating and get to that age where they're discovering themselves and stuff, they base a lot of their first encounters on what they saw with their older sibling, because that's the only example they have, apart from their parents' marriage. But then that's marriage. The closest thing to them sometimes, not all the time, but many people, that's what it is for them.
And I can understand.
Because they're seeing something close to them that they can emulate. So when they get into that situation, sometimes if they start making certain mistakes, because they're trying to copy certain things, do you know what I'm saying? So you being in that situation and them seeing it, for example, how should you be when you're in a relationship, for example?
Yeah, but you can see without me and him being together.
How would they see when they don't know
Based on
what the guy is?
You can see. There's no secret to where he is. He'll be in the ministry.
They should go and look for him.
No, not even that. Because if I'm going to be dating somebody from outside of my chapter in the ministry, best believe it's not a stranger I'm only seeing once
have to be
every
in the
blue
ministry?
moon. Yes. It's not something that I'm seeing once every blue moon. Because of the ways in which we are raised in this ministry, the doctrines, the teachings which we have, this ideology and the way in which we do things is not commonly found everywhere. I cannot come and kill myself and try to bring somebody into this tradition and training of...
Oh, sweetheart, you follow him to his own.
I'm not doing that. So let's not fight to say, you're coming here, I'm going there. No, let me just stick to what I know and be very, very happy and content here. I'm very satisfied.
Interesting.
So anyways, back to the main point here. You can meet people in things that you were doing in ministry. For instance, we're here on the table. There's people who work on the camera, people who work in production. We spend a lot of time together. We fellowship together. There's things that we do, for instance, TiVo TV, we do work there, and we do TiVo, we do Rhapsody work over here, we do all these things over there. We're interacting with different people from different chapters in the ministry all the time, and we spend a lot of time together. And especially when things like, for instance, TiVo, you can bring your people in to see that environment where you're working with that person you're courting or dating. They can see a very healthy and happy, this is courtship, but they're focusing on the work and they're doing the work, and that's the agenda. It doesn't need to be in their face every week.
Can I say something? Can I ask you something? Don't you think, for example, it's easier to hide such a relationship from the people that you may be able to get some accountability from? Because it's something that can be easily hidden. So nobody needs to know, can there be, and it can encourage that lack of accountability. If, for example, I'm in this situation with somebody in my church, for example, there is a very high chance, it's not 100%, but it's a high chance that it will be noticed by, let's say, the leaders or even the pastor. Do you get it? So even if we're trying to go on about our business as though and trying not to bring, because accountability is important.
100%, but even if you say that you're in the same church and you're
I didn't say 100% though.
No,
so,
I know, but it's the same thing, like, you could be doing your thing in church and they ask you, are you dating so-and-so? No.
Yeah, but
it
they
looks
know a lie.
So I've said no, so who am I accountable to still?
You lie to your pastor?
If you have said no, you have said no.
You would comfortably lie in your
never.
pastor's face.
I personally would never.
Exactly, that's the point.
But if the person has said no, where's the accountability?
But that's what I'm saying. The chances of it. For example, like
You're assuming that an individual...
No, it's not an assumption. I asked you a question. Would you lie to your pastor's face? You said no.
You asked me about me, but I'm not everybody.
No, you're not everybody. But generally, it's a bit of a difficult thing for people to do. Some people do it all the time.
Yeah.
People do it all the time. Do you understand?
It's not a lie.
But,
It wouldn't be a lie if you both agreed.
That you're not actually dating. You're just talking.
yeah, they wouldn't ask you, are you dating? They probably ask, is something going on between the two of you?
And you can say, no, we're just friends.
but something's going on.
What is
With
going
a friendship.
on? A friendship is going.
My point is.
Yeah, but you know when they say something going
You know
on,
exactly what they
you
mean.
know what they mean. It's not just, are you guys friends? Are you guys best friends? No, it's.
So you said no,
it's
nothing's
something-
going on.
You, if somebody, listen, you're asking me about the possible response when somebody wants to be in your business to know what's going on. Is something going on with you and so? No, we're just friends. Who am I accountable to?
That's the part. You
Like I
need to
said, it's not. Like I said, it's not
concentrate
100%. Obviously, it's not 100%. But I'm saying that at least these things can be seen, and there's a chance. Do you know what I'm saying? For that to take place.
But
The
you
thing
can
is,
also
you
see
can
me
be
and the
dating
brother from
someone
the other
in the
chapter.
same chapter and no one knows.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
what
it
happens then?
It happens. I'm just saying the probability, comparing.
Or you can be
both
dating somebody in a
situations.
chapter and everybody knows, and there's no accountability
Yeah.
because you don't report to anybody.
If I was your pastor, I would want to know how far.
As a pastor, you would always make your efforts to try and
Yeah,
get
exactly.
that understanding. But it's the individual, if they choose to say yes or no, sir, or let you know what's going on.
I'll let you know that you're.
It's subject to
not
the
telling the
individual's
truth.
choice.
Huh?
It's subject to each individual.
Oh, it
Salvation
is.
personal.
At the end of the day, it is. I think.
So it's got nothing to do with whether you're in my chapter or whether
I
you go
said
to a
the
different chapter.
likelihood of it, at least a conversation will come. It will give a chance for us to talk about it and then to do things properly. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. At least the conversation will present an opportunity. It
I'm
doesn't
not sure
mean
about that.
It doesn't mean that 100% somebody will tell the
does.
truth, yeah, or somebody will not. At least
Yeah.
you know.
But I'm
and
saying.
your pastor may know, or your leader may know that you're lying. They may not say you must tell me the truth now, but it's a case of, okay, she doesn't want to say it, but I know. Let me keep an eye.
But
you get
even
what I'm
still,
saying?
wherever you meet
I know
these people that
cases-
you're dating, even if it's ministry programs or you're doing work outside of church from different chapters, there's people around you who can see.
I'm not talking about
And
just
there's-
any people.
There's leaders around you who will be able to see and ask you. Like even trust me, there's leaders
They are
who
not
will
your
ask certain
pastor
questions.
or
Doesn't
your
matter.
leader.
There'll be
It
a
does
leader to
matter.
whoever's in, like
Big deal.
if you're in a place or an organizational setting where you're saying ministry programs or whatever, it can be your pastor, it can be their leader, it can be somebody's leader in that relationship. And they also ask questions because they can
Do you
see.
know what the pastoral ministry is about?
I understand the
Your
pastoral ministry is
pastor's
very-
ministry is to you.
I
Somebody
understand.
else's pastor's ministry is necessarily to you.
100%, but
But
pastor
you
can
can
still
still be
minister to me
accountable to
whilst
other
whilst he's
people
being
as well.
You can
accountable to
be.
the other person.
You can be, but
And
Your
know,
point
for
is
example,
not really
sometimes the
doing a lot
deaconesses
here.
get involved, for example. So, it's not pastor,
that's
but
that's based on their
you know.
personal interest in your life.
But either
What
way,
you're saying is correct and fair. It's easier.
Yes.
How is it
It's
easier?
that-
Because
just
the
that
same-
simple.
Fully is easier.
She's refusing to see the thing.
You're refusing
She's refusing to accept
but
it.
it's fair. It's easier.
It's straight to the
It's
point.
easier.
It's not
What's
hard.
the-
sorry, what's easier?
Yeah, so like you said, for accountability purposes, it's far easier.
To date someone in the same chapter?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I get,
that's
overall,
what
I
you're
get,
saying.
I get
Yes.
it.
That, you're arguing with that, and that's.
It's only
correct.
easier
Because
if they
it's-
know you're dating.
yes.
Even
That's
if they
all.
don't,
No,
even if they
it's
don't,
not.
they can tell.
We can pay attention. You can
They-
get signs. We can see.
Do you understand?
So we can see.
Even if you
If I
don't.
was
clear.
dating someone
Even
in
if you don't
church, they
admit-
would not know.
They-
No, hold on.
Until I'm ready for them.
Trust me. People can
Okay,
tell.
but
no,
for,
no.
People
for
can tell these things.
accountability-
They would know.
They
for
can tell these
accountability-
things.
For
They-
accountability.
they can tell.
Wait,
Because
hold on.
they're clearly
if-
getting it wrong.
Yeah. No.
For accountability to work,
I'm just saying.
Can I tell you a story? Hold on, we're coming. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
There's somebody who was dating someone. You know what people were doing? People that suspected it, right? Whether they denied it or admitted it, at certain times they will call. Do you understand? Based on the relationship. I'm talking about their leaders and stuff. Where are you? Where? Not obviously, I'm not saying that people should call you to ask where are you, but at least they had a relationship to allow that conversation, right? They were able to tell, even though they knew this person was denying it, they were able to still help them in a certain way. At a certain time of the night, you shouldn't be with this person or different things.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, that they could. No. Yeah, that's accountability. That's what it is. It doesn't have to be official. Like, oh, you guys are dating. Okay, cool. These are the rules. No,
Necessary.
it's about I'm being there for you. I'm looking out for you, right? As someone who is, and a friend can do it. Somebody that you met in Lovewood TV can do it.
Yeah.
However, they don't have to, and the chance of them doing it are very slim. Your pastor and your leaders are more likely to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
I think it's also one of those things where it depends on the sort of friends you have. I have friends that hold me accountable and I hold them accountable as well.
Right.
So I don't feel like I need, I don't know, someone else to tell me, okay, this is how I should run my relationship or what. But I'm not saying if my pastor called me and was like, okay, so these are the rules. Of course, I'm going to listen. I'm just saying sometimes you actually have people that hold you accountable and who are not your pastors.
Yeah, but in terms of accountability, it's for the relationship itself. So it's direction
I know.
for the relationship.
I know.
So although, yes, you can kind of like manage things yourself, ideally, you know, it's also important to have that kind of like overseeing kind of like factor for protection purposes. I think
Protection from what?
Your protection.
from animals.
Yeah, but how are you protected from animals?
Very simply. Like, that's what it is. The more barriers there are.
Jeremy, stop looking at me like that. I'm sparking conversation. Explain.
The more barriers there are to it, right? It aids.
Let's assume this guy comes into church. He's this amazing person, but you know, under G, he does all sorts. Everyone thinks, oh my God, he's so like, this is who you should look up to. Now he's interested in you. You guys start dating, you start finding out a lot of things about him. And the so-called people that are holding them accountable, overseeing, the way they see him is different from the him that you know and his friends know and everyone knows. So how effective is this accountability?
After you.
You want to talk about accountability. When is the right time to start introducing accountability into conversation? When do you now say to your leader or your pastor or whoever you want to talk to and say, I'm talking to this individual and this is what's going on. I just need you to know so I can be accountable to somebody. What about if this fizzles off in 2 weeks? And then next week you have another brother.
Choose what you like. If you like, jump off a cliff. That's the person's prerogative.
You can choose to do what you want,
What
yeah.
he's saying here is that it's easier.
It makes sense.